Hey guys, what's going on? Derek Bonzani here. Thanks so much for watching. Wanted to give you an update on the latest. What am I driving now? Mr. Enthusiast here is driving back in a Porsche and back in a Taycan, this time a Taycan Turbo model. I actually sold this Taycan Turbo, got a little history with it. I sold it brand spanking new off the showroom floor back in 2020. This is the 670 horsepower, absolute little beast turbo model. And before you say anything, oh my God, Derek, it's not a turbo, it's electric. Yes, that's just the way Porsche labels their cars. Turbo models and higher are the higher trim, the more powerful trims. They have larger brakes and obviously the most potent horsepower. And then of course you have the GT cars, which GT3s, GT3 RS, GT2s, those cars are all gonna be just absolute track weapons, right? So the Turbo here is a model I've always wanted. It's, to me, I've always loved the 4S. It's one of my favorites. I had the base model back in 21. You can go back and watch those videos if you really want to get into that. It's funny, the software and all the things that just, when that car just came out, there was so much cool tech, and it was such a big step for Porsche. And of course, I know the EV market is a little bit dry. That is exactly why I leased it. This is a 1-year lease for me. So I did it because I absolutely love driving electric cars, even as an enthusiast. Now, specifically electric cars, I say the Lightning I had was one of my favorite F-150s. And Porsche has sport sound, has a 2-speed gearbox, and it drives like a Porsche. It is the best driving electric car, hands down. I've driven every one of them. Plaids, you name it. Actually, I can't say every one of them. I haven't driven a Lucid yet, but I have been in a Lucid. And it is an amazing car too, with respect to the person that's looking for that kind of car. To me, the Porsche, as far as driving experience and overall Porsche experience, you get in and drive it, feel the road, full wheel steering, Porsche dynamic chassis control, all the cool tech we have on the track is implemented in this particular turbo model here. It has the extra options on it with that full wheel steering and the Porsche dynamic chassis control, air suspension, and of course, very special in 2020 was these huge 10-piston surface coated brakes. You can actually see the shiny rotor in there. So back in that 2020, 2021, even 22 era, you could get this as a brake option. Well, it was standard on the Turbo, but I always thought that was a really cool option. It was something that Porsche innovated, coating the rotor so it wouldn't rust, and of course having the larger brake. So this thing stops and will pull your eyeballs out of your skull when you hit the brakes. It's pretty impressive. The other thing I like about the Porsche EVs is when you're driving them, it drives like a normal car. There is noise. You can get a sports sound, which this one has. So you'll hear it as I clip over and show you these videos of me driving. The other thing I will tell you is just, other than the driving experience, I love the look of it. Just the feel of it. When you get in the car, there's a lot of headroom in there, and I'm tall, I'm 6 foot tall. The back seat room is a little tight in these, and when you get in, you got to watch your head because the aerodynamics of the car obviously make it so you have to kind of fall into it. It is a low riding car. But that being said, it does have the air suspension. It can raise itself for my gravel driveway and basically stay in that raised height up to 20 miles an hour. And it also has geolocation, so when I stop like at my mailbox at the entry point, I can save that and it will raise the car automatically every time, so I don't have to even remember, it just does it. So I think that's really cool, some of those options integrated in the Porsche. The other thing is, I'm buying this car now in 2025 at the end of the year, so it's got all of the latest software updates in it. All the little bugs, all the little things are worked out. So with 56-ish thousand miles on it, we're gonna give this thing our full review, drive it for a year, give you updates. I did get a truck. I'll surprise you with that video a little bit later. Working on a couple of mods before I do that, and then I will update you guys on where the RHO went if you're curious, and that truck. I just want to save that for a later video. I am doing one video at a time here, so thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the video. We'll give you a quick drive-in demo. We're going to take it on a road trip, try the Tesla charging network, see how that goes. I got the new Tesla plug, as you can see by one of my earlier clips. So they now have the adapter, and we are on Tesla's network. And I have used this with the Lightning before, so I'm well aware of that charging network and where they are. So as we head down to Florida, I kind of know exactly where to stop. This will be 20-minute stops, give or take, on 800-volt architecture, so it's half the charging time from 5 to 85%. So that's a big deal for me. That's a big deal for a lot of people. I'm not sitting and waiting for 45 minutes like I was in Lightning or anything with 400-volt architecture. I don't want to have to wait longer. I want to stop, get done, 20 minutes, be in and out. So one of those other benefits of the Porsche. So Price points are down right now on EVs. Not a bad way to get your hands on one. If you're looking, our inventory is harperporsche.com. You can always check out our website. But I'll give you my full review, the driving. We'll take it on a road trip. We'll go from there. Thank you guys for watching, checking it out. In the car, got the air running. You can see I've got plenty of headroom. Even with no shade here, I have no issue. It is not excessively hot. I know I'm hot in general just because of it's been a hot day and I've been running around outside. But other than that, the air conditioning's fine. I love the digital vents. They're electronically controlled here. Let's flip the screen around. We'll kind of show you around a little bit. So this is the sport steering wheel. It's got little fatter thumb grips on it. This one's a carbon fiber one with Sport Chrono, which gives you the option for your driving modes, Sport, Sport Plus, which is going to drop the air suspension down. You can see it right here. Put the suspension system in Sport Plus, and then if you do have PDCC, you can actually use this arrow and rotate your gauges, rotate down. You got a G-force meter, and you can actually see the PDCC or Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control meter. When you go around a corner, it shows you how much it's, what it's doing basically with the sway bars. So 48 volt system, and basically essentially twist the sway bars in the opposite direction so you have this flat, when you're driving, basically it's flat. So it's awesome. This is your regeneration button, which is right here. Now on a Porsche, the regen on is very minimal. When you get off the gas, it basically just slows it down naturally like a normal car. It doesn't abruptly slow you down and stop you like one pedal drive. That does not exist on this car, which I am thankful for. All your light controls are up here. This is a full leather dash, so it's a full leather option. You can see it on the doors, all wrapped up as well with leather trim. And you can see this one has the second screen, which actually has a cockpit mode, which is kind of cool. That'll show you G-forces, speed, and altitude, what mode you're in. And of course you got your CarPlay, which is full screen. Pretty nice. And then on here, your vehicle information. So this is your recuperation, driving modes. Under comfort, you've got your ambient lighting, what color you want it, how much brightness, all that fun stuff. And on and on and on. You've got a lot of options here, all the way down to controlling the passenger seat and moving that if you need to from the driver's seat, which I think is really cool. Just passenger seat, there it is. So you can just move it and adjust it if needed. If somebody in the back needs more room or whatever, you can adjust it from here, which is pretty cool. As you can see, the interface is pretty fast, and considering this is a 2020, the first year, it just have the latest software updates. The original version was black and white, and it had smaller icons. It wasn't this detailed. This touch panel is a touch panel. You can move it around and control up here. You can use 2 fingers and turn the volume up. Pretty cool. You can see the battery stuff right here. So as you can see, I'm at 58%, 136. Doesn't seem like a whole bunch of miles, but that is also because I was pretty heavy-footed this morning. So I'll give you a true update. It's at 100%, I'm gonna get 258 miles, which I'm well aware there's other electric cars with more. This is not a huge battery, and they're only allowing, even though it's 90, you're looking at a 90 kilowatt battery, give or take 93. You're not getting the full battery. They're only letting you use, they still hold about 10% of that. So realistically, this is just not as big as like the new Taycans or 25s. They're 105 kilowatts, but usable, you're at like 95%. You got almost the whole battery to use. So you've got a lot more range. Those are over 315, 320, 350 miles. I mean, it's crazy. So lot more range on the new ones for sure. That is definitely one of the benefits. They bumped the power on the new ones a little bit, and that's just the nature of moving forward. But these cars have gone down. I mean, this car was in the 50s with 56,000 miles on it. It was a $165,000 car. So this is a pretty amazing car and a lot of performance for local driving. If you still want to charge up in 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to do that on my road trip here, I'll show you how that is. These cars are a good bang for buck for sure. Once again, I would buy one certified. I would want it under warranty, because if something does break or electronic module fails or something with the battery goes wrong, you definitely want to be under warranty. It's not something I want to be paying for. So on the outside here, we got 2 charging ports. So this is just the standard plug-in CCS plug. Done. On the other side, you're going to have your DC, and that's going to be your fast charger. That's going to be the one you would plug in when you're charging on, like, for America, or on a charging station that's DC. And it does have a little flap to protect the water from going into it. You could get power doors on these as well. This is just the standard door. I actually kind of like that, because in the winter time, I don't want one freezing up on me. Then we've got front under trunk storage. We got rear trunk storage. We got a built-in spoiler back here. Porsche does give you the charger. And these use, just like I have at home, I do still have my Autel unit if you guys are following. But this one is in 2020, they had the big color screen. This was the upgrade. But they still use this NEMA 1450. So basically you're on a 50 amp circuit. This thing will charge. It's a 90 kilowatt battery. It's a rough number here. So you're about 9 hours you're charged. 10 hours maybe. It's about 9 kilowatts, give or take. So this system does work. I have my own at home, that Autel system. It's already hardwired in, so we're just going to use that. But you do have that. You have a good amount of trunk space in here. There's another little section under here. You can put your charging cable. And of course, you can fold down these seats here, which is kind of nice. So, what's so cool about this car? Well, the noise. Oh, I love that sound. I love that Porsche engineered sound into this. It's called Sport Sound. It is an option on most of the cars, depending on what era you're looking at. In the earlier cars, you had to order it as a separate option, and I love it. There was always background noise. It always had this noise in the background, but it was a lot quieter. It wasn't like as amplified as it is inside and outside the car. So even outside the car, has a very Tron or Iron Man effect, which I think is cool, because it brings back the excitement of, you know, accelerating and moving like a gas car does, right? So I still love my gas cars, guys. This is not a preach on electric. This is just basically my feedback on why the Taycan is so great and why I love it so much. Sure, it's got its flaws like most electric cars do. This didn't have the most range back in 2020. This one fully charged at 100%, taking the battery all the way up. I'm about 260 miles right now. Now, this car has 56,000 miles on it. He drove it, and it was reliable. He had a great car. This is a great one. There are some folks that have had Taycans that didn't have good luck. They had a lot of software updates. They had a lot of little bugs in the very beginning. And I think that was a lot of electric cars in their first era to start. So you got to remember, this is Porsche's first jump right into it in 2020. So this one right here has all the latest screens and the latest updates that you can get even in the new ones, which is pretty cool. The only thing that's missing that the new ones have is a few hardware updates, and of course visually the new ones have a slightly revised front end, new headlight design, and just a couple of new things that they've done. But overall, this one has the second screen on it. You can see in the video here, I'll clip over the interior. It's absolutely still one of my favorite interiors. Everything is solid in here, other than I've got a little bit of carbon I keep talking. Other than I've got a little carbon fiber steering wheel creak. That drives me freaking crazy. But the car's got almost 60,000 miles on it. There's going to be a couple things here and there. Overall, it's solid. It's quiet in here. As far as if I turn the sound off, there you go. Now sound's off. Now I get on it, can't hear anything. So you got the option to turn that sports sound off. The car is the smoothest riding Porsche. I still say that to this day. a close second is definitely going to be the new active ride suspension on the Panamera, which is incredible. It's also available on the new Taycan, by the way, 25 and up, because it needs 400-volt architecture to run it. So the system itself is pretty incredible. I'll clip over a couple videos or put some links in my description on the Porsche Active Ride. It's definitely state-of-the-art and pretty amazing. So overall, this car absolutely flies. We'll show you some clips on it. I'll give you my review, and stand by. Here we go. All right, so basically, I've driven a lot of cars. I've driven the Tesla Plaid, of course, because we had a couple traded, and yes, it is a absolute weapon. If you just want to do drag races and rip people's heads off all day, that is a very fast car. The biggest thing with the Porsche, and this is not me being biased, this is just the truth, is the fit and finish, the drive. There's physical buttons. There's no regen. There is a regen, but it's built into the brake pedal, so you don't get the one pedal drive, which I know some people like. Good for you guys. I'm sorry. As a regular car guy, driver, enthusiast, I cannot stand having that secondary, like you're off the gas and you're immediately stopping. Like, it's too much of a golf cart effect, or a, if you've ever been one of those cars when you were really young and learning how to drive, and they had the second brake pedal on the passenger side. That's exactly what it reminds me of. It drives me insane. So. The Taycan is definitely a driver's car. It's a Porsche first, 800-volt architecture, so you've got a 20-minute charge. I love that on Electrify America, on 350. Now, as of this video, there's a new adapter. We finally have the Tesla network, which is a huge thing for a lot of people, because you have such a wide variety of chargers now, which is awesome. So I love that. I think with the Taycan, you're not stopping as frequently. So, okay, maybe you don't have 50, 61 miles of range like some of the other ones do, but who cares? I mean, I'm driving it to work and back. As you guys know, I say this every video, 40 minutes away, 40 minutes home, 40 minutes there. So for me to have an electric works. I plug it in at home. That's my gas station. I have the least amount of maintenance on a Porsche I'll ever have, other than tires and some wipers. There is a coolant flush and a brake fluid flush somewhere in between there, but other than that, just drive it. It's awesome. So if I had a Panamera, Cayenne, anything else, I'd be once a year, every 10,000 miles, whatever that service costs, $700, $800, $900, some of them more, just depends on what it is. None of those things I have to worry about on a Taycan. Now, I only have this for a year lease. That was the best option for me. That kept the payments very low, very low, like Honda Accord low. So that is exactly why I went back to this. And I hope to have this kind of deal come through maybe next year as well, once this one is up, because having a Taycan as a daily is awesome. You get the Porsche drive, you have all the power. This thing absolutely rips, and it's a weapon in traffic. If you have to get around people quickly, stop quickly, this is the car to do it. Nobody can mess with you. I mean, other electric cars maybe, but as far as that goes, as far as handling and just getting out of the way and moving around quickly, if you have to avoid something quickly, this particular car has the Sport Package. It has four-wheel steering. It has Porsche Dynamic Chassis Control, PDCC, and with almost 700 horsepower, you just hit this thing and it's absolutely gone. You're under 3 seconds to 60, and it's absolutely a beast of a car. So, yes, could you have battery faults, things like that? Yes. We did do all the software updates to this one, so hopefully it'll be pretty bulletproof for a while. You just never know. That's the whole thing. But to me, with gas cars, you never know either. I mean, I'm sure nobody knew when they were buying their GMC Yukon that they were going to have this 6.2 recall and all of these engine blowing problems and transmission issues and whatever. I'm not just picking on GMC. That's the Ford with all the recalls I've had on my trucks, on the Lightning and things like that. Same thing. Pick a car, guys. I don't care. You're going to go buy Toyota, think they're bulletproof, same freaking problems. having transmission issues with their Tacoma, and then they're having engine issues with the bigger vehicles that they're replacing motors on. So pick your poison, guys. In the luxury world, Porsche can't beat the handling, the fit and finish, the overall drive, and the fun level. Yes, if you want more cargo area, you want the Tesla tech, like the Sentry system and some of the cool stuff that they do, yes, they have some unique options that make them different. But every time I get in one and drive it, even if it has more space and kind of more airy feel to it, it just, the look of it, the drive of it, it's like playing a video game. It's just not exciting to drive at all, other than the fact that it goes very fast when you stab the throttle. So bang for buck, sure, I get it. I get why people would want to drive it. But there's just, the soul is not there. The Porsche soul is definitely here in this Taycan. And that's basically the reason why I shot this video, because you guys know I'm an enthusiast and I want to answer things honestly and unbiased. Of course, I do work for Porsche. That's going to come off biased. But in general, this car is amazing just to get on it. Oh my gosh. I was fighting it. It's so fun to stab it and just jam your head into the headrest. But I'm not even on sport mode. I've got the sound off. Sport Plus, this thing going on back roads, I can't get over how flat it is. So you've got 50-50 weight distribution, the batteries in the floor. So driving it compared to, like, say, a Panamera Turbo. Panamera Turbo is fun. I love the V8 sound. I love the GTS. I love everything about it. It's a little bit bigger. It has a hatch. Don't get me wrong. I still love a Panamera. But you put it up to a Taycan and start driving next to it, like, it's unbelievable. The Taycan just absolutely just, everything is instantaneous. And I love that. So to each his own, right? You can do a hybrid setup, which they do now on the new Panamera Turbos. They're 680 horsepower, 730 horsepower on the Cayenne with the hybrid setup combined. And that is a lot of juice, and they are a lot of fun. And you still get your V8 twin turbo sound, which is amazing as well. So you've got a lot of options there. But if you're entertaining the Taycan, if you can lease it, that's the way to go, because you're going to depreciate these things the worst out of any Porsche. So I just wanted to give you a tour so you guys could check it out. There's plenty of great videos on these cars, but from my personal experience, we're going to deal with it here for a year. I'll give you all my updates on it, and I do thank you guys for watching. It's Derek Bonzani here at Harper Porsche. Stay tuned. We'll keep the videos coming.